Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday, and thanks for joining us on News 3 Now. I'm McKenna Alexander. Let's go ahead and take a look outside this morning at a beautiful sunrise. Julian, what's it looking like for the day ahead?
Well, the sunrise is going to be gorgeous, but it's only going to be very brief for us because as we get into the rest of this afternoon, that's right, folks, we are going to be looking at cloud cover to really roll itself in and just blanket us as we get into our evening hours. The good news is, though, is that temperatures are going to be pretty favorable for us. As temperatures will be into those middle and upper 50s and even to those lower 60s as a southeasterly flow is going to be bringing in warmer air from the south, which is something that we haven't seen a whole lot of over the last few days. As we go into tonight, one thing to keep in mind, however, is that we will start to see some showers start to spread its way across southern Wisconsin, and we can't rule out a potential of a thunderstorm with it. But as we go into our Monday morning commutes, just know it's going to be on the drier side for us. Temperatures will be into the lower 40s. Wind speeds won't be too bad coming in from the east, or from the west, excuse me, but we're going to still be looking at mostly some pretty quiet conditions going into our Monday. And that's just for Monday, folks, because as we get into the rest of the week, we will see Wednesday into Wednesday nights the potential of some severe weather. This is why we put in alert day into our forecast. Severe thunderstorms are going to be possible with, on top of that, our threats are mainly going to be high winds, hail, and an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out for us. And this is what we're going to be seeing. This is for Tuesday in itself, mainly into the Midwest for areas into our central and southeastern Iowa. Are into a slight and enhanced risk. However, just near Crawford and Fort Grant County are included into that slight risk. And again, that is for Tuesday. But what we're keeping our eye on is going to be happening into our Wednesday. So these lows are going to be sweeping through over the next couple of days. But as we go into our Tuesday nights, transitioning into Wednesday, that dynamic system is going to roll in, bringing in that potential of some stormy conditions. We're going to go into a deeper dive in just a few moments. But until then, we're going to toss it back to you, McKenna.
All right. Thanks, Julian. And you can stay ahead of severe weather by downloading our First Warn Forecast weather app. It's free and available in the App Store. New this morning, as the conflict in Ukraine rages on, armed forces in neighboring Poland are preparing to be ready. For the first time since the Russian invasion, journalists were allowed to watch U.S. troops training on the ground in Poland. As Kyung-La reports, NATO forces are ready to coordinate a defense if necessary.
No words needed. This is the NATO message to Russian President Vladimir Putin. This is the first look at American troops firing weaponry on the ground in Poland since the war in Ukraine began. U.S. and Polish forces publicly showed off the might of the West in a bilateral live-fire training exercise. One by one, Polish tanks lined up heavy artillery. And paratroopers dangled from helicopters, landing on a battleground that is designed to prepare for a war just a short drive away. The 82nd Airborne Infantry Brigade combat team, based at Fort Bragg, has been drilling with American Black Hawks here in Poland for weeks, deployed in mid-February before Russia invaded Ukraine.
What we understand is that there are 2 platoons here, about 60 American troops taking part in this live fire act. It's a show of force. We're about just 2 hours away from the Ukrainian border. The Americans trying to show that they are indeed working with the Polish troops.
This is just a small snapshot of the greater U.S. force here. A U.S. official says approximately 11,000 U.S. troops are deployed in this NATO country. There are visible sign of a larger military ramp-up near Ukraine. A senior U.S. official tells CNN about 8 to 10 aircraft a day land at airfields near Ukraine, with weapons and security assistance material that is moved into the war-torn country by truck convoy. This bilateral drill ends with a photo op for the cameras, the 2 countries side by side.
What is the message you're sending to Russia?
We are strong, we cooperate with our forces from the all NATO. We are ready for any action. We are ready to defend our country.
Of the 82nd Airborne, who have been in Poland since mid-February, were not allowed to comment on camera. But the paratroopers say even though they've been camping out in tents in cold weather, they're used to the challenge and will be ready if needed. Meanwhile, trains aren't running in parts of the country after a deadly attack Friday by Russian forces. At least 52 people trying to leave Ukraine were killed. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky told CBS's 60 Minutes that it's just the latest example of a Russian war crime.
What evidence is there of war crimes across Ukraine? перехопила служба безпеки, є їх розмови.
The Ukrainian security service has intercepted communications, he told us. There are Russian soldiers talking to their parents about what they stole and who they abducted. There are recordings of Russian prisoners of war who admitted to killing people.
You can hear much more from President Zelensky tonight after the Masters on 60 Minutes. Russia's attack on Ukraine has displaced millions of people. But beyond the political calculations involved, religion is playing an important role in the ongoing conflict. Christiane Amatpour reports.
Among the most spectacular sights all over Ukraine are the golden-domed Christian Orthodox churches. Here, especially in wartime, they've taken on the outsized role of nationhood. At St. Michael's, Metropolitan Epiphanius of Kyiv and all Ukraine leads his parishioners praying for peace and victory.
Ми вболіваємо за український народ. Ми в час війни.
We suffer together with Ukrainians. We are part of our Ukrainian people, especially now when the aggressor, the Russian Federation, especially Putin, is trying to destroy us as a Ukrainian nation.
When a Kyiv prince converted to Christianity in the year 988 AD, he started this church and the one in Russia, which then grew to be the dominant branch. But Metropolitan Epiphanius says that now Russia is losing religious and political influence over Ukraine. Over the years, Vladimir Putin has harnessed himself and his project for a greater Russia to the church. And so parishioners here know that their church's very survival hangs in the balance. 54-year-old Tatiana pushes piety aside just for a moment.
Putin is such a cynical man that any evil is easy for him. I wish he were dead. Sorry, you can't say that in a temple, but it's honest.
And Metropolitan Epiphanius has even harsher words for his Moscow counterpart, who supports Putin's vision of an empire centered on the church.
І мене, як предстоятеля Української церкви, дивує.
As head of the church, he should be telling the truth to Putin and Russians about what is happening in Ukraine, not supporting and blessing it. So I would tell him to be a pastor and not a murderer of Ukrainians.
But this nationalist conflict, waged in part through religion, has been brewing ever since the church here became independent in 2019.
So when this church was actually granted its formal independence, it added a whole new layer of grievance and outrage and protest from Russia. President Putin even warned darkly that switching allegiance by the Ukrainians could lead to serious dispute, even bloodshed, he said.
There seems to be few limits to what triggers Putin and his Russian nationalists. Take the idea that he launched this war to denazify Ukraine. So we visited Kyiv's Holocaust memorial site at Babin Yar to try to understand that term in a nation with a Jewish president and several ministers who have outlawed anti-Semitism. And they say, you know, so-and-so Ukrainian is a Nazi. It means anti-Russian or anti-Semitic?
Definitely, Putin doesn't care about Babin Yar, doesn't care about Holocaust, doesn't care about Jews when he's speaking about denazification.
How powerful an entity are ultranationalists or fascists here?
In Ukraine, they tried to go for elections a couple of times, every time succeeding to get 1%. So people are very reluctant to give any power to ultra-right.
Ruslan Kavatsiuk is deputy director of Babin Yar. He tells us Yar means ravine, and he shows us the precise site where more than 30,000 Jews were executed on September 29 and 30th, 1941. Today, the most beautiful synagogue has been built to memorialize them. The Swiss architect and Ukrainian engineers have devised an elaborate and complex structure, revealing itself through a system of pulleys, to be in part based on synagogues that used to dot the ancient countryside. Over 1.5 million Jews lived here before World War II. About 1 million were killed in the Holocaust. It's believed that 43,000 Jews still live in Ukraine, although perhaps 4 times that number claim Jewish ancestry. as we peer into the audio-visual history of how 100,000 Jews and others were simply gunned down during World War II in this area alone, Ruslan tells us that Russia needs to respect Ukraine's tragic past, not distort it. And back at St. Michael's, here's 80-year-old Irina.
I would tell Putin to come to his senses and not to harm people. What right does he have? Well, who is he? And why is he destroying us like this? We pray and ask God that it will be over soon.
The wall around St. Michael's is dedicated to some of the 14,000 soldiers who've been killed since Putin first invaded back in 2014. And the people pray for Ukraine to win what they call this struggle against evil and stop it spreading any further.
UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson is joining the stream of European leaders showing their support for Ukraine. He visited with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky yesterday.
Together with our partners, we are going to ratchet up the economic pressure, and we will continue to intensify week by week the sanctions on Russia.
Johnson also announced more economic support, guaranteeing an additional $500 million in money for Ukraine.
I think it's very important that everyone who has a voice, speak out against the atrocities that we're seeing in Ukraine.
A day of solidarity with Ukraine. That's what Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes-Conway declared during a rally outside the state capitol Saturday afternoon. A group of Ukrainian supporters joined the mayor in a call for action to end Russia's aggression against the country.
The atrocities that are being committed are of unthinkable proportions. They are at the genocidal level, as I spoke earlier in my speech, and it's horrific, just horrific.
Yesterday's rally was organized by Ruslana Westerland, who we featured on the news last Sunday night. She's a Ukrainian native trying to bring our community a bit closer together. You can find her story right now on our website, channel3000.com. The conflict in Ukraine continues to touch and influence lives all across the United States, including here in Wisconsin. As Tommy Folk shows us, the Janesville community is putting the spotlight on refugees and Ukrainian citizens in our area.
Christine Reboud and her husband adopted their daughter Natalia from Ukraine in 2005. Today, the family shared their story with members of the Janesville community at Music for Ukraine.
It's difficult to see those things being destroyed again and the people that we care about being hurt. And for Natalia, it's also incredibly difficult because she knows she has a birth family that still lives there.
Through fellowship, song, and prayer, the fundraising event sought to uplift the voices of Ukrainian people, bringing voices throughout Rock County together.
To know that people can come together in a positive way to raise money, but also just all of the reaching out and talking to us afterwards and speaking to Natalia and wishing her the best. That was incredibly meaningful, and it's kind of a bright spot in all of the challenges that we've had.
This is a community event, and we want to reach out and say we're thinking of you and praying for you and hoping for the best.
And supporting global groups just looking for any way to help out, even thousands of miles away.
If you're not financially able to support someone, you can support through prayer if that's appropriate for you, or just conversations so that we can not have these things happen moving forward.
Event organizers are encouraging people in the area to donate to the cause and, like Natalia's family, continue raising awareness about the issue. In Janesville, Tamia Folks, News 3 Now.
The event supported the Red Cross and the UN Refugee Agency. Still ahead, a new report details how COVID-19 impacted the Black community. A look at the disparities during this pandemic. And you're taking a live look over the Capitol. Jillian's tracking your forecast just ahead on News 3 Now.
At Pick and Save, we believe fresh is all about standards. Like for oranges, we check for color and scarring and more. Because when it comes to fresh for everyone, we believe the juice is worth the squeeze. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Enough! This doom and gloom ends now.
It's time for a brighter view. Let the sun shine in with 2-for-1 windows from Feldco. Plus, no interest until 2023.
2-for-1 windows from Feldco ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866
for Feldco.
When you open a jar of Better Than Bouillon, you open up dinner time to great flavor. Mix it into a stir fry. Better. Saute it into some veggies. Better. Or brush it onto a steak.
Way better.
With Better Than Bouillon, the possibilities are endless. Make your everything better with Better Than Bouillon.
It's the most wonderful time.
Get fast relief of your worst allergy symptoms, including nasal congestion, with powerful Claritin D, so you can breathe better, feel the clarity, and make today the most wonderful time of the year. Claritin D.
Every year, we give our fine Lindt chocolate a very special shape.
Surprise! Make Easter moments magical with the Gold Bunny from Lindt. Here's why it's smart to custom order your Ford SUV. Because custom orders receive priority. You'll get an extra 1,000 order bonus plus incentive protection, guaranteeing you the best offer now or at delivery. And the features you choose. Want an EPA estimated 41 combined MPG in an Escape Hybrid? A 12-inch touchscreen in an Edge? You got it. In a Ford built your way. Custom order your new Ford SUV or truck today and receive an extra 1,000 retail order bonus cash.
Grass looks great, Zeus. Hey, could you maybe trim the hydrangea too?
Sure thing, Kevin. You want me to do the boxwoods as well?
No. Finding the right person for the job isn't always easy. But when you have an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can give you personalized advice and could help you save hundreds.
Hey, Medusa, let's boogie.
For expert help with all your insurance needs, get to know your local Geico agent today.
Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison 2022. Vote for your favorites online, including Hooper Corporation, Best Plumber, Best Heating and Cooling, formerly General Heating and Air Conditioning. Vote Hooper Corporation today at madisonmagazine.com.
At Pick and Save, every free pickup order is picked fresh and packed with care, or we'll make it right. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
Waking up to a beautiful sunrise here in Madison as we're kicking off our Sunday, and so soak it all in because we're not going to see much of this over the next few days. But for right now, 30 degrees here in Madison, calm winds, not a whole lot of issues as we're starting off our Sunday morning. 32 degrees in Janesville with 36 in Platteville. The 30s are starting to take over here in southern Wisconsin, and we are looking at plenty of dry conditions as well. Even though our friends over and towards the Minnesota area are starting to see a little bit of rain showers, for us, clear skies and lots of sunshine. However, as we get into this evening, again, all that sun is going to start to get blanketed as cloud cover will start to roll in. But on top of it, we are going to start to see some warmer temperatures as well as we sit into those upper 50s. Going into this evening, we are going to start to see, once that cloud cover rolls in, even some potentials of some showers starting to be more scattered across southern Wisconsin. And we can't rule out the potential of an isolated thunderstorm as well for tonight. But into the overnight hours, into our Monday morning, we're looking for some clear conditions as we start off our morning commute, but temperatures are going to be already into the 40s. So it's going to feel pretty nice as we're waking up tomorrow morning. And as we get into Monday evening, we can see even for the 5 p.m. commute, plenty of clear skies for us. And the 50s in some areas are going to be into the lower 60s. As we transition into our Tuesday, more moisture is going to start to roll its way in. And that's where it's going to start to set things up for us in the middle part of our week. We have an alert day in the forecast, folks, and that's for Wednesday into Wednesday nights. We have the potential of seeing some severe thunderstorms to be possible with high winds, hail, and isolated tornadoes to be a potential of our threats. This is what we're going to be looking at here. This is for Tuesday. As you can see, into southeastern and for central Iowa, that's where we have the slight to enhanced risk of seeing severe weather. However, for southern Wisconsin and central Wisconsin, we're into the marginal, but parts of Grant and Crawford County, we're also into that slight risk of seeing severe thunderstorms. Now, as we go in throughout the next few days, the lows that are going to start to sweep in over the next couple are going to push their way out, but we are looking at this very dynamic system where we are looking at the warmth to really be leading ahead of this low, which is going to be bringing in some potentials of convection, which is going to be bringing in our severe thunderstorm potential. So Tuesday nights, we're looking at some very widespread rain. Potentially even some thunderstorms that can carry into our Wednesday morning. But Wednesday afternoon, night, and to evening, carrying into our Thursday is where we're going to be keeping our eye on for those storms to really start to cluster themselves and carry into the early parts of Thursday morning. However, colder air is going to start to sweep into the upper Midwest, so any rain that we see is going to turn into flurries, especially for areas just north of southern Wisconsin, as well as we get into the next few days. But as we take a look at our 10-day forecast, we can see that cold front is going to be hitting very quickly as we top out into the upper 60s and then right back into the 40s. Quite a bit of a seesaw action as we see. I can see your face, McKenna. Yes, we are looking at some seesaw action as we get into the middle part of next week. So definitely try to enjoy the 60s, even though it's definitely going to be a very soggy one for us.
I made that face because I know forecasts change. But yesterday I was saying how glad I am that there are no 20s. And now there are 2.
Well, it's okay. Well, at least they're overnights and they're upper.
Whenever we're awake.
Yeah, to be fair. You're not wrong.
We get the best time of day to be outside. But it's okay, we do have 60s.
We do have 60s. See, that's the thing.
We're being positive
and
now.
plenty of 40s as well. So, I mean, it's a little
and I like
give or
falling
take.
asleep to rain. It's okay.
Oh,
We need precipitation.
I don't know about thunderstorms, though.
I do.
Oh.
I mean, I don't want severe weather.
I do,
We
but severe weather is completely different.
Yeah, we don't want that.
That's like upper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll take what we can get. All right. Thanks, Julian. In other news, racism is a serious public health threat. That's what the CDC director said exactly 1 year ago. And a new report detailing the way COVID-19 has impacted the Black community makes it clear that the crisis isn't over. Britt Conway has a look at that report.
New COVID-19 cases, hospitalizations, and deaths are on the decline across the country. But experts say the crisis isn't over. A new report from the Black Coalition Against COVID-19 details the disproportionate impact the virus has had on Black Americans, something we've watched play out since the early stages of the pandemic. April 2020.
The chronic burden of medical ills is likely to make people of color, especially, less resilient to the ravages of COVID-19.
July 2020.
The populations who are most at risk, that's our Latino and African American communities.
March 2021.
Life-saving vaccines that need to be equitably distributed across our country.
And by April 2021, the head of the CDC said the pandemic illuminated inequities of another epidemic, racism. And this new report shows COVID-19 is still disproportionately affecting Black communities. Among its findings, the report says Black Americans recently experienced the highest rate of hospitalization for any racial or ethnic group. And the risk of dying from the virus is nearly twice as high compared to white people, taking a toll on Black families. Between April 2020 and June 2021, 1 in 310 Black children lost a parent or caregiver, compared to 1 in 738 white children. For experts and advocates alike, it's a call to action to address problems that existed long before the pandemic. For Health Minute, I'm Britt Conway.
Another member of the Biden administration testing positive for COVID. Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack says he hasn't mild symptoms. He recently traveled south of the border to talk about trade policies between the U.S. and Mexico. Vilsack joins a growing list of high-profile politicians testing positive for the virus. Both the Attorney General and Commerce Secretary tested positive this week, as well as House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. More health news this morning. There's another case of bird flu here in Wisconsin. State officials said Saturday morning they confirmed a case of avian flu in a flock in Barron County. That's the 4th confirmed case in the Badger State over the past month. Earlier this week, officials said the birds most likely got the virus after having contact with other wild birds. Still ahead, after this week's historic nomination of Ketanji Brown Jackson to the nation's high court, a local public defender sees herself in a similar position. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by RG Heating and Air Conditioning, installing train equipment and servicing all brands.
Time is of the essence when planning for retirement. So take the time now to make sure yours is well built. Retirements are built here every day. Retirement Income Planning, LLC.
Frisky's World. Looks delicious. With real shrimp, garden veggies, tasty gravy. New Friskies glazed and infused. It's glazed and amazing.
Feed their fantasy.
Friskies. Look, there's over 100 more varieties at Friskies.com.
Consumer Cellular has the best customer service.
They care about the customer.
The best price with the best quality.
The prices, the coverage.
The coverage is great.
It was the same, if not better.
Consumer Cellular provides the exact same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get talk, text, and data starting at just $20 a month.
It's like 4 scoops of ice cream for the price of 1.
Switch today and get a 100% risk-free guarantee. Call or go online.
Fresh out of Papa Murphy's kitchen, the Buffalo Ranch Chicken Pizza.
Actually, it's fresh out of my oven.
Dad, it's just an expression.
Grilled chicken, crunchy bacon, covered in creamy buffalo sauce. Now that is an expression.
Change the way you pizza.
$1 million worth of the best hot tubs in Madison are at Leisure Concepts. And right now, get immediate free delivery, free ozone system, cover lift, matching entry steps, supplies, and training. Our showroom is packed with brand new hot tubs for immediate delivery. We're including everything you need and all at a great low spring price. Leisure Concepts is open 7 days a week. Stop into our packed showroom in Madison on the Beltline at the Park Street exit.
How do you use your energy? Fueling your drive to deliver hope for neighbors in need? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
Sure feels good when you get it right. And with the #1 power toothbrush brand recommended by dental professionals, Philips Sonicare makes it easy for you to always get brushing right.
Time is of the essence when planning for retirement, so take the time now to make sure yours is well built. Retirements are built here every day. Retirement Income Planning, LLC.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
On Thursday, President Biden's nominee for the Supreme Court made history. That's when Ketanji Brown Jackson was confirmed. Later this year, she will become the first black woman to sit on the high court. But a local public defender sees herself in Jackson's confirmation. Governor Evers recently appointed Ashley Morse to the Rock County Circuit Court, making the first woman of color to serve as a judge in that county.
I do face painting for kids during National Night Out, and it's just my favorite part of it is when you paint Batman or Spider-Man or a princess or something on a kid and you show them their picture for, show them their reflection for the first time and they see themselves as that superhero. That's sort of how I feel. I feel like I can see myself reflected in my superheroes.
Morse begins her new role in the court on Monday, and you can catch our full conversation with her this morning on For the Record. That starts at 10:30. There's a half hour of news still ahead here on News 3 This Morning Sunday. Next, we're running through the morning's top stories. We'll be right back.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
You can bring your best friend with you, and I'd love to have you stay. This house is yours.
How about this?
You can always come around.
It's gonna work.
I think so too.
American Family Insurance wants to help you bring your dream home to life. New homeowners can save an average of 22%. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
American Family Insurance.
What if sun-made raisins were just the beginning? A naturally sweet start to a world of imaginative snacks. All from Sun-Made, and all made with whole fruit. Imagine that!
Welcome back, Bill.
I'm here for some new tires.
Well, you're in luck. It's our tire savings event, so now's the perfect time. Tires a little worn down?
Worn down, exactly. Worn down.
Exactly.
Right now, during our tire savings event, buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Toyota Service Centers. Keep your Toyota a Toyota.
The great outdoors await you at Bob's Discount Furniture. Soak up the sun on my dream outdoor sectional, only $19.99. Dine outside with my Lennox outdoor dining set, only $18.99. And lounge on my Laurel outdoor sectional, only $16.99. Each have Papa-Pedic memory foam seating, matching accent pillows, and 100% recyclable all-weather wicker. Plus, each set comes with a heavyweight cover. And in Bob's backyard, the wildlife doesn't want to eat you. Just belly rubs.
You don't have to love laundry to love Arm & Hammer Plus OxyClean. It removes microscopic stains and dirt for a deep, hygienic clean.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
News 3 Now is taking action, reaching out to our community to lend a helping hand.
Taking action by teaming with our neighbors and local leaders to help make this amazing community we share a better place to live.
Taking action for South Central Wisconsin. News 3 Now.
Need emergency weather alerts before conditions turn bad? Download the First Warn Weather app right now. Turn on notifications and I'll alert you when severe weather threatens. The First Warn Weather app. Get it now.
Powered by News 3 Now.
Right now, it's a legacy of compassion for one Madison man. How the community is celebrating him for his commitment to helping everyone find a place to live.
And we're waking up to sunshine around southern Wisconsin. However, severe weather is around the corner. We'll give you the details coming up.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday, and thanks for joining us on News 3 Now. I'm McKenna Alexander. Let's go ahead and send over to Julian Searitt for a look at your forecast. Julian, I know you just talked about some severe weather headed our way, but there's a beautiful sunrise behind you.
That's right. And I feel like we always have to highlight the sunrise because we don't get a whole lot of it in the last few days. But yes, we're waking up to a gorgeous sunrise here in Madison. And temperatures aren't too bad, but they're going to see some significant improvement as we get into the afternoon, folks. Look at these day parts. As we get in throughout now, right now, it's 30 degrees. But over the next few hours, we're going to see 50s already heading into our lunchtime hour. Still plenty of sunshine until we get into the early afternoon where cloud cover is going to start to really blanket us. But aside from that, that's right. We do have an alert day in the forecast. It's going to be from Wednesday into Wednesday night where we're looking at severe thunderstorms to be possible for us. High winds, hail, and isolated tornadoes are going to be the main threats with this system that's going to be rolling its way in. But this is what we're seeing coming in for just Tuesday, which is going to set up what we're going to be seeing going into our Wednesday. For our friends into Iowa, we can see just central and for southeastern Iowa that enhanced and even slight risk for seeing severe weather. And for much of southern Wisconsin, we're into that marginal, but for parts of Grant and even Crawford County, we're into that slight risk for seeing severe weather. And that's just for Tuesday, because as we get into Wednesday, once that low starts to move its way out, we're looking for a more dynamic low to start to roll its way in, which is going to start to be bringing us into that warmer sector and bringing in more convective energy for us to be bringing in some severe thunderstorms as well. So that's what we're going to be taking a look at throughout the rest of this morning. So we'll give you more details in just a few moments. Until then, back to you, McKenna.
All right. Thanks, Julian. And of course, you can stay ahead of severe weather by downloading our First Warn Forecast Weather app. It's free and available in the App Store. Well, it was a day to learn and protect some of nature's most interesting creatures at the Leopold Nature Center Saturday afternoon, as folks who can no longer take care of their exotic pets got a chance to give them back to local nature groups as rescues. Event organizers say many times when people can no longer take care of their exotic animals, they release them back into the wild. Animals accepted today included several types of reptiles, fish, and birds. On the hardwood Saturday at Madison College, it was all about having fun for a great cause. Brian Troxel shows us how local celebrities are putting up shots and giving back in the process.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun and joy.
For the first time in 3 years, the community gathered at Madison College for a celebrity basketball fundraiser.
Anytime I get on the court with Brust or Gasser or some of those guys, brings back good memories. Obviously, we're nowhere near what we used to be.
Featuring former Badgers to raise money for Easter Seals, a nonprofit organization that provides support to people with disabilities and their families.
It's really about giving the families and the caregivers for those individuals a break. People are really excited to be together. They're really excited to have fun again. They're very happy to be able to bring their kids and have a family-friendly event.
But to some involved, this is much more than just a service.
A couple of our athletes that are here today that actually found out about wheelchair basketball because of the Easter Seals program.
AJ Mesmer is the head coach for the UW Whitewater men's wheelchair basketball team, who also played tonight. He says the awareness that the Easter Seals program provides allows those with disabilities to get involved with sports.
They get out, they get to play sports, they get to be competitive, and I think it's really important that people know that that is an option.
As for Easter Seals, they're already looking forward to next year.
We'll start planning next year's event next week.
In Madison, Brian Troxel, News 3 Now.
If you'd like to donate to Easter Seals, we have a link on our website, channel3000.com. In more local news, Easter may still be a week off, but that didn't stop a Verona neighborhood from holding its annual Easter egg hunt. More than 100 kids of all ages headed out on a mission this weekend, and while the kids had a great time, the real heroes were the volunteers who filled the 2,400 plastic eggs with chocolate bars and jelly beans. All the eggs were scooped up in less than 2 minutes. Well, it's not often you hear people raving about their landlords, let alone one being known for a legacy of compassion. But that is the case for one 80-year-old man in Madison. Talil Moladin explains how he's being celebrated in more ways than one.
Just came to
celebrating his 80th birthday. David Hammond's surrounded by love.
I don't need anything. I'm all filled up off all these compliments that were thrown at me.
Plenty of people lining up. Speaker.
I'm just so grateful to be here today.
After speaker.
Got a good friend all them years.
Sharing their kind words for Hammonds.
Greatest man you would ever meet. You better let him know.
But today isn't just about celebrating a birthday. It's also a congratulations for 50 years of service to his community.
It's this very broad statement of who he is and how he thinks of and believes in people in the community.
For decades, Hammonds went out of his way to bring affordable housing to those in need, knowing how hard life can be.
Raised when discrimination was even worse than it is today.
Since he's come a long way through years of hard work and determination.
I don't like losing, and anyone that lose, I really don't care to spend too much time with them.
With his success, he chose to cut his tenants a break, even if it meant losing money.
He's helped people to become more independent and use his apartment as a jump-off spot.
In return, they grew to think of him as much more than their landlord, but rather a mentor and friend.
I've made friends with a lot of people, and that makes me very happy.
In Madison, Tahlil Muhiddin, News 3 Now.
Hammonds is originally from South Carolina, but has spent the majority of his life in Madison. Over the years, he's earned more than a dozen awards for his service. Still ahead, bus drivers still feeling the pain with diesel prices. A look into the struggles they face when we return.
1-800-GOT-JUNK can bring the springtime anytime.
Oh, yes! We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
For you, I wish many things. To see all the world can be. But most of all, I wish you'll never stop wishing.
Your happiest spring starts at Lowe's. Experience all the deals at SpringFest. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possibility.
At U.S. Cellular, we're local, so we're on the ground every day, working to make sure our 5G network isn't impacted by the local weather.
Get the most out of our 5G network. Choose any phone for free. That's any phone, including the new Galaxy S22, totally free. Plus, get unlimited data for just $30 a month.
Because we believe you should get more of the latest 5G technology for less of your hard-earned money. All year round, U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless.
Things were really starting to turn worse for my mom.
They basically said, that's all we can do.
Right to try is hope when there is no hope.
We had done research on the Zysami. Apparently it was still in stage 3 clinical trials.
She couldn't have that medication unless it was for the Right to Try Act and Senator Johnson's work.
This is 3 days after the treatment, and you can see the difference. You know, without the efforts of Senator Johnson, my mom wouldn't be here today.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Sleep Life got you down? For a price that won't keep you up at night, Denver Mattress has you covered. And during the incredible value sale, check out the Summit Firm, easy on the wallet for only $249.99. Save $50 on the Buena Vista, any size, any model. Or get a free $300 gift when you purchase any Tempur-Pedic, plus 4 years no interest and free shipping right to your door. Say goodbye to sleepless nights and shop Denver Mattress today. The easiest way to get the right mattress.
If you love golf and helping kids in your community, then you should support the First Tee of South Central Wisconsin. The First Tee uses the game of golf to make a difference for kids, like us, by teaching vital life skills, like honesty, integrity, and respect. Wisconsin has the largest achievement gap in the country, and First Tee's educational programs are uniquely designed to narrow that gap. Empower us by making an online donation to the First Tee at firstteescw.org.
1-800-GOT-JUNK can bring the springtime anytime.
Oh, yes! We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
And discussing our alert day, which is going to be in the forecast for us from Wednesday into our Wednesday night. Here's some of the threats that we're going to be covering. We're looking at high winds, hail, and isolated tornadoes to be possible with the severe thunderstorms. But on top of it, this is what we're going to be seeing for our Tuesday. And this is just the Tuesday's outlook. We are looking at what we would refer to as pretty much just referring to itself looking like an avocado. As it's settling up over into Iowa, central and southeastern Iowa, we have the enhanced and slight risk. But even closer look, we can see parts of Grant and Crawford County are within the slight risk as well. And that's where it's going to be coming from, this low that's going to be pushing itself into the upper Midwest. And with that warmer air starting to roll its way in, we're going to be looking at some convection that will be popping off some storms for us. And we're looking at this rain to really carry in from Tuesday night into our Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening to bringing in those storms from that system. And then any rain that's going to be left over transitioning into Thursday, well, we are looking at potentials of some light snow, mainly for areas in central and northern Wisconsin. We'll take a deeper look at what else to expect coming up in a few moments. Until then, back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. Drivers are feeling a little less pain at the pump as fuel prices retreat. Today, a gallon of regular averages $4.12 nationwide. And that's hard to believe, but that is the lowest price in more than a month. But buyers of diesel fuel are still really feeling the pinch. That includes the nation's school districts. CBS's Scott McFarlane reports.
This semester, it's the schools learning the tough lesson in economics. Diesel, at approximately $5 a gallon, is potentially combustible to the school budget. In Montgomery County, Maryland, the buses burn through an estimated 18,000 gallons a day.
We go really around 4.5 times around the world. It's about 112,000 miles per day on our buses.
This public school system, like many others in America, has signed a long-term fuel contract to attempt to lock in a price. But as some of those contracts expire in the coming months, a school bus-size financial problem awaits many schools.
You might want to tighten up the mileage some of these buses run?
Absolutely. We look at our routes continuously throughout the year to tighten up routing.
There are approximately 480,000 school buses in America, according to the National School Transportation Association, which calls rising diesel prices a definite and growing concern. A CBS News review finds education officials nationwide going on a diesel diet. In Michigan, school districts are drawing new routes to put more kids on fewer buses. In New York, drivers are being told to avoid extended idling and rapid decelerations and stops. And in Georgia, the state superintendent is seeking approval to use federal COVID relief funds to offset high diesel costs. In Newport News, Virginia, they've raised the maximum allowable bus ride from 60 minutes to 90.
How stressful is it when you see diesel get close to $5 a gallon, operating all these diesel vehicles?
It's stressful because you have to go back and look at your budget and like, okay, are we going to make it?
And they've replaced 1/5 of their fleet with propane-fueled buses, which cost only half as much to fuel and are first to deploy.
Assigned schools nationwide are facing a different type of test. Scott McFarland, CBS News.
Still ahead, the Wisconsin Film Festival returned to Madison this week. We have a look at some of the featured films when we return. And you're taking a live look over the Capitol. Julian's tracking your forecast just ahead.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
At Pick and Save, we believe fresh is all about standards. Like for oranges, we check for color and scarring and more. Because when it comes to fresh for everyone, we believe the juice is worth the squeeze. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
This month, shop Surgenian's semi-annual sale. We offer the largest luxury vinyl selection in Madison, carpet collections, timeless hardwood flooring options, and more. Surgenian's semi-annual sale has savings of up to 30% off in every department. Local, sustainable, Surgenian's.
It sure feels good when you get it right. And with the #1 power toothbrush brand recommended by dental professionals, Philips Sonicare makes it easy for you to always get brushing right. Philips.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
How do you use your energy? Giving back to your community? Fueling your drive to deliver hope for neighbors in need? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power. We're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
Did your or your neighbor's roof take a beating this season?
I'll call Feldco.
Right now, get 30% off a new roof from Feldco. Plus, no interest until 2023.
30% off Feldco roofing ends soon. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
At Pick and Save, every free pickup order is picked fresh and packed with care, or we'll make it right. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
And we're going to dive right in, folks, as we have an alert day in our forecast for Wednesday into Wednesday night. And severe thunderstorms are going to be possible for us. The main threats that we're looking at from these storms could be high winds, hail, and isolated tornadoes. Now, we're going to dive right in, as we mentioned, because Tuesday, this is what we're going to be looking at. For our severe weather outlook, we have an enhanced and slight risk for our friends into Iowa, mainly to central and southeastern Iowa. But just to the west, for Crawford and Grant County, we also have a slight risk and a marginal risk for southern Wisconsin in itself for severe weather. So we're going to be keeping our eyes on for Tuesday, but on top of that, Wednesday is where we're going to start to see this low starting to roll its way in to be producing some thunderstorms for us that at times could be severe. So as we go into our Tuesday nights, we are looking for a blanket of rain cover throughout southern Wisconsin. As we go into our Wednesday afternoon, that's where we're going to start to see that warmer air start to funnel its way in. And on top of that, that's going to just be fuel for us to see severe storms carrying into our Wednesday late afternoon and to Wednesday nights. Transitioning from Wednesday nights, as we can see that colder air starting to be right behind the rain, we're going to start to see that transition going into our Thursday morning, for some mixtures and even some light flurries or light snowfall for areas just into central and northern Wisconsin that will carry into our Thursday night. So that's what we're going to be keeping our eye on, because again, we're going to be looking at a lot of rain throughout much of southern Wisconsin over the course of this system that's going to be rolling in from Wednesday into our Thursday morning. Rainfall mainly around Madison and just to the south is not going to be as much as we're looking for areas just to the north, but we're still looking at significant rain totals throughout this event. So our three things we're going to need to know So we are looking at temperatures to be very mild as we get into next week. 60s for Tuesday and Wednesday. However, again, we are keeping our eye on our storms going in from Tuesday night going into our Wednesday evening as well. Again, that is where we're going to be looking at the severe storms to be starting to roll in for us. The colder air is going to be rolling its way right back as we get into Thursday. It's almost going to be a cold snap as we see those temperatures drop in from 69 back into about the 40s. And that's what we're going to be seeing throughout the rest of the week. After those storms roll its way out, 40s will be back going into next weekend, looking at more quiet conditions, but the 40s again are going to pretty much dominate our conditions for us until we get into the mid part of the following week. So yes, we can't get away from the 40s just yet, and we are looking at some springtime severe storms, but at least we get 60s, right?
You're right. Looking on the bright side, we'll take it.
Yeah, we got to take what we can get, and even if it's a severe storm, 69 degrees is still going to be pretty nice.
It's better than severe storms and cold.
That's also very true.
All right, thanks, Jillian. There's still the Wisconsin Film Festival kicked off on Thursday, but you can still get tickets and see one of the 150 films. Photojournalist Christopher Hobbecker has a preview of some of the weekend's featured films.
Timmy?
I'm here.
What time is it?
It's 7:26 a.m.
Timmy?
I'm here.
Call Dr. Burns.
Feels like old times. It feels like, oh yeah, we're back to doing what we do. It was 2 long years out in the wilderness, and now we're back home.
So the Wisconsin Film Festival is going to be back in person for the first time since 2019. We're going to be screening over 150 films across Madison on and off the UW campus.
So this year, it's really easier than ever to get tickets. With the ticketing system we have now, you can buy a ticket for a film right up until showtime. You can do it on your smartphone. On campus, we're at the Marquee, we're at Shannon Hall, we're at 4070 Vilas Hall, which we call UW Cinematheque, and we're also at the Chazen Museum of Art. And then we have 3 screens at AMC Madison 6.
Filmmakers from across the country and around the world are going to come to Madison and share their films with us for the first time. A lot of these films have only premiered online. For some filmmakers, this is going to be one of the first times they get to experience their films in a theater with an audience.
He was all about presentation. Whether it was the business, the house.
After my father unexpectedly died, he left behind a huge archive of all these pictures and images and writings that kind of revealed this person, I had never known. I pursued that, and at first I was making the film just for myself, as a way to kind of work through this material that my dad left, as a way to kind of film what I was seeing and then try to piece it together in the edit room as a way of me trying to work through something and to paint this portrait of, the person who my dad was and his true struggle with substance abuse.
Everything looks so young.
It does.
Do you see him in the landscaping?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Every time I look at it. That's why we put his bush from his funeral right on the end there.
Yeah, Jace made, we're calling it a documentary, but that's probably not the most accurate term for this film. It's an autobiographical where he sort of sorts out his feelings about his father. I would say it's an experimental documentary.
I've always wanted to be deaf.
We had these 2 films, Jace's film, which is almost a half an hour, and then another film called Only I Can Hear, which is sort of timely in that the film Coda just won Best Picture. And this is a documentary that deals with real-life CODA. CODA stands for Children of Deaf Adults.
I come from a culture that most people don't understand. They think I was raised by awful or stupid people.
A lot of the documentary takes place at a summer camp right here in Wisconsin that's designed specifically for CODA to come and be with other CODA. And this is a really intimate and fascinating look at some of those people. This is the real CODA.
And so being there where it's happening, especially the Wisconsin Film Festival is so great at bringing in the filmmakers that you are going to be able to, sit in an audience with this like energy that you've never felt.
The Wisconsin Film Festival runs through next week. For tickets and a full list of films, just go to wifilmfest.org for more information. Make News 3 part of your weekly routine by downloading the Channel 3000 app for the latest headlines and weather conditions 24/7. But first, a 92-year-old gets to fulfill his dream of wearing a cap and gown to receive his diploma. We're back in just a moment.
Experience handcrafted and hand-finished furniture by genuine Amish craftsmen at Wanakee Furniture ETC, featuring hardwood made in the USA home furnishings by Simply Amish and other great brands you can trust.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Fresh out of Papa Murphy's kitchen, the Buffalo Ranch Chicken Pizza.
Actually, it's fresh out of my oven.
Dad, it's just an expression.
Grilled chicken, crunchy bacon, covered in creamy buffalo sauce. Now that is an expression.
Change the way you pizza.
$1 million worth of the best hot tubs in Madison are at Leisure Concepts. And right now, get immediate free delivery, free ozone system, cover lift, matching entry steps, supplies, and training. Our showroom is packed with brand new hot tubs for immediate delivery. We're including everything you need and all at a great low spring price. Leisure Concepts is open 7 days a week. Stop into our packed showroom in Madison on the Beltline at the Park Street exit.
If you have advanced non-small cell lung cancer, your first treatment could be a chemo-free combination of 2 immunotherapies that works differently. It could mean a chance to live longer. Opdivo plus Yervoy is for adults newly diagnosed with non-small cell lung cancer that is spread, tests positive for PD-L1, and does not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene. Together, Opdivo plus Yervoy helps your immune system launch a response that fights cancer in 2 different ways. Opdivo plus Yervoy equals a chance for more time together, more family time, more time to remember. Opdivo and Yervoy can cause your immune system to harm healthy parts of your body during and after treatment. These problems can be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have a cough, chest pain, shortness of breath, irregular heartbeat, diarrhea, constipation, severe stomach pain, nausea or vomiting, dizziness, fainting, eye problems, extreme tiredness, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, rash, itching, confusion, memory problems, muscle pain or weakness, joint pain, flushing or fever. These are not all the possible side effects. Problems can occur together and more often when Opdivo is used with Yervoy. Tell your doctor about all medical conditions, including immune or nervous system problems, if you've had or plan to have an organ or stem cell transplant or received chest radiation. Here's to a chance to live longer. Ask your doctor about the combination of 2 immunotherapies, Opdivo plus Yervoy. Thank you to all those in our clinical trials.
Rest comfortably with brands you can trust at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Create a unique and stylish room with made-in-the-USA products from companies like Smith Brothers of Bern. Select from a wide variety of sofas at a great price.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
A Lake Mills resident stuck on a waiting list for boat slip access. A wait that could last a lifetime. And some who have access don't even live here.
The city residents should have that benefit.
Leah Lynchide spotlights this call for action tonight at 10.
Are you excited to ride in the fire truck?
Kind of, I'm gonna make it.
A Sauk City woman turns 100 years old in style. We'll show you how they're celebrating this milestone in a special birthday wish. Monday, only on News 3 Now this morning.
Finally this morning, a 92-year-old has completed his lifelong dream of receiving a diploma. Rachel Holt brings us his story.
A lifelong goal fulfilled as 92-year-old Carlos Resende, wearing his cap and gown, received his diploma surrounded by faculty, family, and friends. The Dorchester man becoming the oldest graduate in Cambridge College history.
Carlos, I don't know if you ever knew how intimidating it was for me to teach you.
After retiring from his job as a paraprofessional in Boston Public Schools, Carlos went back to school, this time on the opposite side of the classroom.
By the age of 80, he was enrolled here at Cambridge College, seeking a bachelor's degree in multidisciplinary studies. And he's gradually gone through all of the various requirements through the years, and he's finally arrived at the finish line.
His motivation to get to that finish line, besides a passion for learning, was a desire to make his mother proud.
Mr. Resende, we know today your mother is looking down on you with such pride. We are honored that we can stand in some way in her stead in this physical presence with you and share her pride.
Words can't really explain how we feel. It's truly an amazing accomplishment for a man to be at his age, to be so dedicated to learning at this age is inspiring to all of us.
During the special commencement ceremony, the college announced a scholarship in his name to be awarded annually to an undergraduate student of any age.
Anyone who ever thinks it's too late, I have to give up on my dreams, I want to say to them, you need to get to know Mr. Resende, because he actually says to all of us, it's never too late.
All right, we have some alert days in the forecast.
Yes, we do. We have an alert day for Wednesday once again, in effect from Wednesday to Wednesday night. We are still looking at potentials of Tuesday night to be bringing in some severe storms, but the main events will be for Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday night once again. We are also going to be looking at temperatures to be pretty warm to kick off next week, but it's going to be very brief as another cold front will be dropping temperatures back to below seasonable for the rest of the week, McKenna.
We are so close to hitting 70.
So close. But
once it does, spring's here. But for now, we have the spring showers. That is very classic spring for us. Thanks for joining us this morning. We'll have more news later tonight at 6 and 10.